It started with footsteps, soft ones, on nights when the world was quiet and my thoughts were too loud. I'd be walking down the hallway or sitting alone in my room and I'd hear them slow, steady, one step after another, like someone following me from a distance. At first I told myself it was nothing, a sound from the house, a trick on my mind, a tired brain making noise out of silence. But deep down I knew the truth, the sound didn't come from outside, it came from within, from something in me that refused to stay buried. Those footsteps weren't from a ghost, they were from my past, from memories I tried to outrun, from pain I pretended didn't exist, from mistakes that moved quietly but never left. And every time I tried to ignore it, the footsteps grew louder, close, more familiar. I hear the footsteps behind me, even when I'm alone. Shadows follow softly, like they know where I've gone. I hear the footsteps behind me, echoing through my mind. Maybe they're not ghosts, just pieces of me I left behind. Yeah. There were nights I turned around fast, hoping to catch the thing that haunted me. But the moment I looked, the world went silent, too silent. No sound, no movement, just the weight of something staring from behind the dark. It wasn't evil, it was familiar. It felt like a part of myself that I abandoned, and now I wanted answers, wanted attention, wanted to be heard. The footsteps showed up most when I lied to myself, when I pretended I was okay, when I pushed down emotions instead of facing them, when I chose distraction over healing. Every step was a reminder, you still haven't faced this, you still carry this, you still run from this. And the truth is, you can escape people, you can escape places, but you can't escape the parts of yourself you never dealt with. They follow, they whisper, they walk behind you. Until you stop running. I hear the footsteps behind me, they get louder in the dark. Maybe they're not haunted, maybe they're calling out my heart. I hear the footsteps behind me, reminding me of what I feel. Not demons, just shadows. I made through the years. What if the thing I fear is just a memory I never healed? What if the thing behind me is just a version of me asking to be revealed? Sometimes the scariest ghost is a past that refuses to stay concealed. Tonight the footsteps came again, but this time I didn't run, I stood still and listened. Because maybe the only way to silence what follows me is to finally face what's been walking in my shadow all along. It didn't take long for the shadows to feel familiar. At first they were shapes on the wall, dark corners I tried not to look at, places the light didn't reach, but slowly they became something else. Something that moved when I didn't move, something that stayed even when the room was empty. I'd walk past the doorway and swear I saw someone shift, not a figure, more like a memory, taking form, a quiet presence that didn't want to hurt me. Just follow me. And one night I whispered, "Who are you?" Nobody answered, but the shadow leaned forward as if it understood the question, as if it had been waiting for me to finally ask. That's when it hit me. Shadows don't need voices to speak. They talk through the silence, through the fear you hide, through the pain you never healed. They talk by staying when everyone else leaves. Only the deepest parts of you show up like that. The shadows know my name, they whisper it in the dark, not calling me with fear, but with memories I left apart. Yeah, the shadows know my name.
entertain.
I started noticing patterns, the shadows grew darker when I felt guilty. They stretched across the walls when regret returned. They moved closer when my mind drifted to mistakes I avoided. These shadows, they weren't strangers, they knew the parts of me I refused to say out loud. They knew my childhood fears, my adult failures, my quiet heartbreaks, my hidden breakdowns. They knew the truth I never shared with anyone. That's why they follow, because they belong to me. Pieces of my past trying to take shape, trying to remind me of who I once was before I lost myself. And the scariest part wasn't that the shadows followed me, it was how well they recognized me, how they moved closer whenever I lied to myself, how they tightened whenever I pretended I wasn't hurting. You can't hide from something that knows the version of you you try hardest to bury. Know my name, they whisper with no sound. They rise whenever my thoughts start to drown. Yeah, the shadows know my name. They're pieces of me I couldn't frame. Maybe they're not haunted, maybe they're a guide, and maybe the shadows appear when the truth comes out of hide. And maybe everything I fear is something inside me crying. Tonight I didn't yell at the shadows, I didn't run, I didn't hide, I just let them move and realize they weren't chasing me. They were waiting for me to finally see the parts of myself I left behind. There are rooms in my life I don't walk into anymore. Not real rooms, but memories shaped like places I once felt safe in. People I once trusted, moments that meant everything before they turned into ghosts that linger in my mind. Some rooms are warm when I first opened the door, filled with laughter, like a younger version of me who didn't know pain yet. But the second I step further, the air turns cold and the walls whisper things I've tried to forget. So I back away before the past pulls me in again. Other rooms, they're locked from the inside. I don't even try to handle, I know what lives there. Broken promises, the sound of someone leaving, the weight of something I never healed. I keep those doors closed because opening them feels like reopening a wound that never learned to scar. These are the rooms I don't enter anymore. Too quiet, too heavy, too full of before. I walk past gently, keeping my breath slow, cause some memories don't like to let go. There's a room in my mind where I lost myself. I know exactly where it is, I feel the cold. Every time I get near it, I remember the night I walked into that space and came out a different person. Part of me stayed behind in that moment, in that room, and I still haven't gone back to bring them out. Another room holds faces I don't speak to anymore, not because I hate them, but because the memories hurt more than the distance does. Love that ended, friendships that faded, people who meant the world until they didn't. I leave that door closed too. And then there's the darkest room, the one with no windows, no color, just silence. That's where I keep the things I'm ashamed of, words I can't take back, choices I regret, nights I lost control. I don't step into that room unless I'm ready to face myself without judgment and honesty. I'm not always ready, but the strange thing is I know I'll have to walk into them one day. I know I can't heal with every door locked. I know some rooms must be entered if I want to leave the house of my past with peace. These are the rooms I don't enter anymore. They echo too loud, they show me before I move past slowly, cause I already know some shadows don't want you to go. Because some parts of me still need time before they come out of the dark. There was one night that pushed me further than all the others. A night when my own thoughts stopped listening to me. A night where silence became something sharp, something that cut from the inside. It started slow, a tightness in my chest, a thought I couldn't shake. A shadow in the corner that looked too familiar. I tried to breathe, tried to stay calm, tried to tell myself you're fine, it's nothing. But the fear didn't listen, and neither did my mind. Every regret I ever buried showed up at once. Every fear I ever ignored stood in a line across my room. Every voice I tried to silence spoke louder than the walls around me. It felt like the past was trying to take over my body. I wasn't fighting demons, I was fighting myself. There was a night my mind turned against me, when shadows grew deep and memories chasing me. I couldn't run, I couldn't breathe, I just tried to survive what lived inside me. Yeah, I remember sitting on the floor with my back against the bed, hands shaking, heart racing, trying not to fall apart completely. I kept asking myself, what's wrong with me? But the question only made the noise louder. It felt like my brain split into pieces. One part scared, one part angry, one part whispering things I didn't want to hear. And the worst part, no one knew, no one saw, no one heard me talking to myself, trying to calm the storm in my head. No one saw how close I was to losing control of everything inside me. People think breakdowns look dramatic, but sometimes they're silent. Sometimes they're just a man sitting in the dark trying to keep his mind from collapsing. Sometimes the loudest screams never leave your mouth, but in the middle of all that chaos, something small happened. A breath, one slow breath that didn't fix everything, but kept me here. Then another and another tiny anchors pulling me back from the edge. That was the night my mind turned against me, when shadows grew deep and memories chasing me. I couldn't run, I couldn't breathe, I just tried to survive what lived inside me. That was the night my mind turned against me, when shadows became thoughts and thoughts tried to break me. But somehow, in the middle of fear, I found a breath that kept me. Your mind can be a monster when it's hurt, and it doesn't warn you, it just starts burning. But even when your thoughts feel like a turn, and a single breath can stop you from hurting. I survived that night, not because I was strong, but because some part of me refused to disappear. Now when the darkness comes, I don't fear it the same. I remember that night, and I remember I made it through, even when my own mind turned against me. Fear doesn't always shout. Sometimes it sits beside you like an old friend who overstayed his welcome. It doesn't slam doors, it doesn't shake walls, it just whispers, soft enough to get under your skin, but never loud enough for anyone else to hear. I learned that fear isn't always panic. Sometimes it's a quiet breath. You can't control a heavy feeling. You don't talk about a shadow that follows you, not to scare you, but to remind you of everything you haven't healed yet. Some days I wake up fine, other days fear sits at the edge of my bed before my eyes It doesn't ask, it doesn't want, it just arrives like it owns the place. And I've tried to fight it, push it out, force it away, but fear isn't something you can just throw out. It slips under the door, hides in familiar places, waits in the quiet moments when your guard is down. Fear lives quietly in the spaces I don't show. Not screaming, not violent, just a shadow that grows slow. Yeah, fear lives quietly in parts of me. I don't let go. Sometimes fear feels like a hand resting on my shoulder. Not heavy, but enough to remind me it's there. It shows up when I try to change, when I take steps forward, when I get close to something good. It whispers, what if you fail? What if you fall again? What if this time you don't make it back? And the dangerous thing is fear doesn't lie loudly. It lies gently, soft enough that part of you believes it. But I've learned something I didn't know before. Fear is not an enemy, it's a signal, a message from a version of me that wants to protect my heart from breaking again. It's not here to stop me, it's here to warn me about the places I once got lost in. So now instead of running, I listen, not blindly, not completely, but enough to understand why fear is speaking. And slowly, it becomes less of a shadow and more of a teacher. Fear lives quietly, right beside my hope. It doesn't take over, it just whispers when I'm low. Yeah, fear lives quietly, but now I'm learning how to let it go. Oh, let go. Is a ghost that doesn't disappear, but every time you face it, it comes back smaller each year. Sometimes the bravest thing is saying I feel fear, but I'm still here. Fear will visit again, I know that, but it won't control me, won't define me, won't break me the way it used to be. 'Cause now I see it clearly. Fear doesn't hunt loudly, it lives quietly. Now, so do I. For a long time, I thought the darkness owned me, thought the shadows were stronger, that the footsteps behind me would follow forever, that every fear I carried would live in my chest like a second heartbeat. I thought escaping meant running from me, running from guilt, running from every room in my mind that scared me to open. But after everything, the footsteps, the shadows, the nights my mind broke itself, I learned something different. You don't escape the dark by running, and you escape it by turning around and facing what's been chasing you. And once you do, everything changes. Yeah. I took my first step forward without fear, not because the darkness disappeared, but because I finally understood it. I stopped seeing it as something hunting me. I saw it as something reflecting me. Now I walk out of the dark, not fast, not proud, but real. The shadows still whisper, but they don't tell me how to feel. Yeah, I walk out of the dark, walk out of the dark. One breath, one step, one healed part used to think strength was never breaking. Now I know strength is breaking and still choosing to rise again. Strength is opening the doors you kept locked for years. Strength is listening to the parts of yourself you once feared and saying, I hear you, but you don't control me anymore. The footsteps behind me, they're quieter now, not gone, but distant. They sound less like danger and more like reminders of how far I've come. The shadows still move in the corners of my mind, but they don't scare me like before. I know their names now, I know their stories, I know why they stay so long. They weren't haunting me, they were waiting for me to grow strong enough to face them. And finally, I did. So here I am, not fully healed, not fully steady, but walking forward with a softness I never had before. Not running from the dark, but carrying light into it. Now I walk out of the dark with pieces of myself I once lost. Every shadow that followed me was just the shape of a cross, yeah. I walk out of the dark, walk out of the dark, dark. Pieces of myself I once lost. Every shadow that followed me was just the shape of a cross, yeah. I walk out of the dark, dark. Not because it ended, but because I finally understand my heart. Yeah. Healing isn't loud, it's quiet steps on familiar floors. It's opening doors you shut before. It's knowing the dark still lives inside, but choosing to guide yourself toward light. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. I've lived in it, learned from it, walked through it. And now I walk out. Not as who I was, but as who I became. Because of everything that tried to break me. Started with a faint sound, so soft, I thought it was nothing. A breath behind the drywall, a quiet shift in the corner like the house inhaled when I wasn't looking. I told myself it was silence playing tricks again, but the more I ignored it, the clearer it became. Not footsteps this time, but whispers low, gentle, close enough that I felt them brush the back of my neck. They weren't words at first, just tones like the walls were learning how to speak. But slowly they shaped themselves into something familiar. Voices I recognized from memories I tried to bury. It wasn't the house talking, it was me. The parts of me I locked away in corners I never cleaned, behind walls I don't repair, in rooms I don't enter. They found cracks to slip through. I hear whispers in the wall, soft echoes of everything I avoid. Not shouting, not haunting, just the truth I left destroyed. Yeah, whispers in the wall, calling out my hidden flaws. One whisper sounded like guilt, then trembling, like it had waited years for me to finally listen. Another sounded like regret, almost angry, telling me I should have known better. And the third whisper sounded like a younger version of me, asking why I left him behind. Some nights the whispers crept through every corner, traveling through the house like they were alive, like they were searching for me. They didn't want to scare me, they wanted me to remember. The walls hold more memories than I do. They remember every moment I tried to forget. Every night I cracked, every silent breakdown, every thought that never made it out of my mouth. And now those moments spill through the cracks as whispers, not to hurt me, but to remind me that running never worked. The things you bury always find their way back in softer voices. I hear whispers in the wall, they rise when my mind grows weak. Old versions of me trying to speak. Yeah, whispers in the wall, quiet truth behind it all. Patch every hole, paint past still leaks through the smallest mark. Whispers don't fade just because you're in the dark. Tonight, the whispers came again, but I didn't panic, I didn't hide. I just listened because sometimes the quietest voices speak the loudest truth. And maybe the walls were never haunted. Maybe they were just holding the parts of me I abandoned. There's a place in my mind that no light ever touches. Not sunlight, not moonlight, not the glow from a screen. Nothing gets in. I didn't build it on purpose. It formed itself out of everything I avoided. It's not a room or a memory, it's deeper than that. A hidden corner where pain learned to hide, so it wouldn't choke me all at once. A place I never walked into, because I knew once I stepped inside I wouldn't leave unchanged. Sometimes I feel it, a cold draft blowing from a part of myself I pretend doesn't exist. The heaviness sitting behind my ribs, waiting for the day I'm brave enough to open the door. And the strange thing is, I know exactly what's in there. Old fears, old wounds, pieces of myself that never learned how to heal properly. All stored quietly where the light won't reach. This is the place where the light won't reach. A corner of me, too broken to teach. Silent shadows, pain so deep. I walk past gently, afraid to speak. Yeah, where the light won't reach. Some nights I get too close to it, I feel the pull, not violent, not aggressive, just a quiet invitation from the darkness inside me. A soft whisper saying you're not done here. Fear lives in that place, but not the kind that screams. It's the quiet kind that waits, the kind that sits still until you finally turn your head and acknowledge it. I've tried to shine light on it, but the light bends away like it knows it isn't welcome, so I tried ignoring it instead. But that only made it louder. The more I avoided it, the more it pressed against the edges of my mind, making sure I never forgot it was there. And maybe that's the point, maybe this place isn't meant to be hidden forever. Maybe healing isn't about avoiding the dark, maybe it's about learning to sit in it without letting it swallow you. Because inside that space are truths I never faced, versions of me I abandoned, memories I buried without understanding, pain I carried but never processed. Everything I left in the dark is still waiting for me to walk toward it. This is the place where the light won't reach, a quiet corner that still holds grief. I feel it calling, soft and weak, a voice from the dark I'm scared to meet. Not all darkness wants to break you, some darkness wants to teach you the things the light never could. What hurts you isn't the darkest believing. You shouldn't look. One day I'll walk into that place, one day I'll let the dark show me what I refuse to see. But for now I stand at the doorway, breathing slowly, knowing healing begins exactly where the light won't reach. There's a mirror in my room I stopped looking into, not because I'm scared of what's in front of it, but because I'm scared of what it shows me that isn't real. Some nights I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye, and the reflection moves slower than I do, like it's thinking, breathing, waiting for me to look so it can finally speak. I step closer and the glass fogs like something inside it. Exhale first, my own face appears blurry, not gone, just off, as if the mirror remembers me differently than I remember myself. It doesn't show me the man I am, it shows me the man I feel. feel. Becoming a version shaped by guilt. Shadows under the eyes, jaw clenched with regret. A look that says you left too many parts of yourself behind. I whisper, that's not me. But the reflection doesn't blink. This is the mirror that lied to me, showing the man I'm scared to see. Not who I am, but who I could be if I let my pain keep holding me. Yeah. The mirror that lied to me. Yeah. I've stared at it long enough to understand something. The mirror doesn't create lies, it reflects the lies I already believe. On days I feel worthless, it shows me failure. On nights I feel broken, it shows me scars I don't even have when I feel alone. The reflection looks like someone no one would stay beside. It's not magic, it's not haunted, it's just honest. In a twisted way it reveals how I see myself before I see the truth. Sometimes the reflection asks questions without words. Why are you still carrying that? Why do you believe you don't deserve peace? Why do you judge yourself for wounds you didn't cause alone? It doesn't speak but the silence feels like a conversation I can't avoid. I touch the glass and feel nothing bad, but my heart reacts as if the reflection touched me first. A reminder that the most painful lies are the ones we tell ourselves in quiet rooms. This is the mirror that lied to me, showing the man I'm scared to see. Not who I am, but who I could be if I let my pain keep holding me. Yeah. The mirror that lied to me. Mirrors don't lie, our wounds do. They twist the image until it looks true. But the reflection you fear isn't the real you, it's the pain passing through. Tonight I looked into the mirror again, and for the first time the reflection didn't win. I saw the man under the fear, under the shadows, under the stories I fed myself for years. It didn't lie this time, or maybe I just stopped believing the lie. One day, I'll meet my reflection without flinching. But tonight I walked away knowing the mirror never owned me. Ah, nah, nah. My mind did. Ah, nah, nah. My mind did. For so long, silence felt dangerous. It was the place where shadows moved freely, where whispers crawled through the cracks of my mind, where old fears returned like they never left. I used to fill every quiet moment with noise, music loud enough to drown my thoughts, lights bright enough to hide the darkness, distractions strong enough to keep me from hearing what the silence had to say. Silence doesn't disappear, it waits, patient still, like a room that knows you'll have to enter eventually. The night I finally sat in silence without fighting it. Something strange happened, the room didn't feel haunted. The shadows didn't reach for me, the whispers didn't drag me back. Instead, it felt like the silence was breathing with me, slow and steady as if it had been trying to speak peace long before fear twisted its voice. I'm alive in the silence now, no running, no breaking down. The dark still lingers, but it's calm somehow. Yeah, I'm alive in the silence now. It wasn't power that brought me here, it was exhaustion. I got tired of running from rooms in my mind, tired of fighting shadows, tired of turning my back every time the darkness whispered. So I let it talk, I let the silence show me what I'd been avoiding and what I heard. For so long, Silence felt dangerous. It was the place where shadows moved freely, where whispers crawled through the cracks of my mind, where old fears returned like they never left. I used to fill every quiet moment with noise, music loud enough to drown my thoughts, lights bright enough to hide the darkness, distractions strong enough to keep me from hearing what the silence had to say. Silence doesn't disappear, it waits, patient still, like a room that knows you have to enter. Eventually, the night I finally sat in silence without fighting it. Something strange happened, the room didn't feel haunted. The shadows didn't reach for me, the whispers didn't drag me back. Instead, it felt like the silence was breathing with me, slow and steady, as if it had been trying to speak peace long before fear twisted its voice. I'm alive in the silence now. No running, no breaking down. The dark still lingers, but it's calm somehow. Yeah, I'm alive in the silence now. It wasn't power that brought me here, it was exhaustion. I got tired of running from rooms in my mind, tired of fighting shadows, tired of turning my back every time the darkness whispered. So I let it talk, I let the silence show me what I've been avoiding. And what I heard wasn't horror, it was true, soft truth, painful truth, truths I wasn't ready for until now. The silence told me I survived things I don't give myself credit for. It told me the shadows I feared were just memories waiting to be understood. It told me the footsteps behind me were echoes from a past that no longer controls me. And slowly I felt something shift, not a dramatic moment, just a quiet realization that I wasn't the same person who started this journey. The dark didn't shrink, I grew. Now the silence feels like a place I can sit in without losing myself, a place where healing happens quietly, breath by breath, a place where the ghosts aren't enemies, just reminders of how far I've come. I'm alive in the silence now. No running, no breaking down. The dark still lingers, but it's calm somehow. Yeah, I'm alive in the silence now. Silence isn't empty, it's full of what you need. Teaches you slowly, helps old wounds bleed. You don't escape the dark, you learn how to breathe. Right in the middle of every shadow you see. The darkness didn't leave, but it softened. The whispers didn't stop, but they quieted. The shadows didn't vanish, but they stepped back as I stepped forward. And now when everything goes quiet, I finally feel something I thought I lost for